Is PodMatch a scam? Short answer, no. But let me unpack that a bit more. And the reason I feel compelled to make this video is that before I signed up to PodMatch, I went to Google and typed in PodMatch reviews. First result that came up was this Reddit post that said, is PodMatch a scam? And essentially the post unpacked why they thought it was a scam. It's 3 years old, but it's still ranking number one. I want to set the record straight. Full transparency. I'm a member, I use PodMatch. I only signed up a couple of months ago, so I'm a relatively new user, but I want to share my experience because I think it is great. So let's walk you through it here. Straight off the bat, yes, it's a paid service. No, that doesn't mean it's a scam. I think one of the good things about it being a paid service is it actually filters out a lot of the tire kickers. You are only getting hosts and guests that have skin in the game because they're paying. But saying that, as a host, and I'm a podcast host, the plan is really affordable, even for me who's in Australia. It's $6 a month. You pay month to month, and apparently they even offer a money-back guarantee if you're not happy. So that's very affordable. Let me show you my dashboard now. I think the big thing that makes people suspicious is this commission thing. They pay people to record podcast episodes. What? That sounds too good to be true. It does, but I think that's because not everybody knows the full story. So let me lay it out for you. PodMatch gives users or podcast hosts, a small commission. And they are very upfront that this is not a commission for you to be able to make a living off. No way. And let me tell you, it's definitely not. I will show you the back end in a minute of how much I've earned so far. But they very much care about supporting indie podcasters. It's a struggle. There are costs associated with running a podcast. And for me, I don't make money through my podcast. So signing up and getting a few dollars for interviewing guests is awesome. I love it so much. So this is how it works, right? This is their thing. It's a little bit annoying because it says you'll get paid up to, so here you'll get paid up to $31 per professional member, because there's different types of plans. For your normal kind of member or guest on there, the bog standard plan that most people will be on, you'll get up to $13. Let me tell you, that has not been my experience. I haven't got that much. And this is why. It's a monthly split, okay? So it explains it here. If I had a guest and they had been on 5 different podcasts and they were just a standard member, that $13 that you can earn up to would be divided by 5 between all those podcast hosts. So 13 divided by 5, $2.60. Not a lot of money. I'm sure not all guests are doing that, but it's a possibility. So just be aware of that. That is how it works. But let me go back to my dashboard now. I want to show you what I have earned. I just got my first payout today, actually. That happens at the beginning of the month. So this one here is a bit unusual. I found a bug on the platform, and as a thank you for telling them about it, I got a $5 commission. So how cool is that, right? They fixed the bug. I think it was within a week, and also got a thank you. Here was my first guest I had. I got $2.81. So it's not a lot of money. This one was a professional member here. I got $7.75. So she would have been on more than one podcast because I didn't get the full $31, right? So if you go 31 divided by 775, she was on 4 podcasts that month. So I think this is just a really good kind of behind the scenes view, of what you might be looking at. Now, for full transparency here, when I signed up for PodMatch, I was so impressed that I actually reached out to Alex Sanfilippo, as one of the founders of PodMatch. And I said, we need to collaborate somehow. So we've done a bit of a value trade. I said to him, I'm going to help put out the good word of PodMatch because I think it's awesome, but I can't afford your top tier plan. So would you consider reimbursing the cost of that? And so it's a value trade. And here was my first payout that I got today, $82.56. And here it says I have 2 booking commissions pending. That's because I've recorded 2 interviews this month, and I won't know until the end of the month what my commission will be, because you got to wait till the end of the month to see how many podcasts there are. So that's that. You do get paid. Are you going to be able to live off it? No way, but they don't advertise it as that. So I don't see a problem. And I don't know of any other platform that's actually supporting indie podcasters this way. So I think it's cool. Let me just quickly show you what a guest profile looks like. I'll pull up mine here. You can see what the guest, or me in this case, has tagged that they talk about. They write a bit of an about section, give you an idea of who they are. There's links to their socials, if they have a podcast, their website. There's a pre-written introduction here that you can use to introduce them on your podcast if you want. You don't even have to write your own introduction. The guest also gives suggestions for some episode titles or the main focus you might want to use. And they even list some questions that they're happy to answer and give some examples of podcasts that they have been on. And they give images that you can use for thumbnails. You don't have to be chasing them up. There's also a link here that the guest provides for you to put in show notes. So easy as that. Now, what about if you want a guest on a podcast? Well, I can show you that too. So I've set this up, and this is what guests will see, and this is how they decide if they want to be on mine. They can see that I'm a pro member, so I take things seriously. I'm part of the podcast network. Again, I take things seriously. I'm a legacy team ambassador, which means I really believe in PodMatch. I use it a lot, and so far I've done 5 episodes because, as I mentioned, I haven't been on the platform long. Quick description of my podcast, which is automatically pulled from the description that's on your RSS feed, so that's easy. I then give a very brief overview of my ideal guest and some tags there. There's a link to my podcast, my socials, quick overview of what people need to know, and my target audience. Simple. So as a guest, they can screen you that way. They can read reviews as well, which is really, really awesome. Let's talk about workflows. This is like a whole separate, well, it's not separate, it's part of PodMatch, but it's its own thing entirely. So I kind of thought, yeah, whatever, I'm not going to use that. But it's a way to set up, it's like project management, but I have created a template for my episodes. So this is how I use it. I've created tasks for each episode. So I have got, how many tasks at the moment? 14. So for example, upload video to Descript, do my first edit, record the intro and outro into Descript, and so on and so forth. So in terms of how that works, I've put in here all the episodes I have recorded that I need to edit. And if I go into this one, you can see I've uploaded it into Descript. I haven't done my first pass edit. I haven't done any of that. But what you do is you tick it off as you go. But you can create your own templates, use it for whatever you want, and you can set due dates, all that jazz. It's pretty cool. There's also a community, which I haven't got up at the moment, but you have a separate login for that. It's in Mighty Networks. You can support, fellow podcasters, ask each other questions, share episodes that you've found. There's also regular events on there that are free. And that's really cool. It's helped me feel really connected to other podcasters. And if you want to ask me questions, feel free to message me. I think PodMatch is awesome. I have turned into an absolute super fan. I have earned my first dollar through my podcast thanks to PodMatch. And it was a $6 a month plan that got me started. And here we are. I highly encourage you to give it a go. You got nothing to lose. There's a money back guarantee. I haven't tried it myself, so, but it is publicized on social media that they do that. And I know that Alex is an awesome guy, one of the founders of PodMatch. So feel free to reach out to him too. He's all over socials. He's very, very friendly. And feel free to reach out to me. Bye.